Hey folks, Pickleball Librarian here, life in the fast lane. And I want to talk about a fast paddle. This Evoke Pro from ONIX is a very fast paddle. This Evoke Premier, it's also a fast paddle. Wow. So, you know, I like this paddle a lot, and it was referred to me by Cassandra Marie Gerke. She uses this. She does like the purple one too. I think I have a thing for purple. So the Evoke Premier, when this came out, I was like, hey, let's look at this. Let's compare the two. All right. So holding them together, let me come here. Okay. If you look at it closely, you could see how the Evoke Pro, the edges overlap the Premier. But the Premier, you can look at it, and you can see how the Premier is just slightly longer. And you could look at it side to side. So, you know, the Evoke Pro, the Evoke Premier. So this one is just slightly longer and slightly narrower. The weight is about the same, the weight range. This is one I prefer. This is an 8.0. This is a 7.9. You know, very good paddles. Let's see, another difference I see is in the edge guard. I mean, you can look here. The Premier edge guard right here is a thinner edge guard compared to the Evoke Pro. Right? Very different. You probably can't see the coloring, but you know, this is more of a matte, and this one's more shiny. But you know, just feeling it, you can feel the Premier. It's a softer feel, where this one's harder. So I know that the Premier is supposed to have some kind of atomic 13 edge technology. It's supposed to, you know, take some of the energy and, you know, maybe add some speed or something. But hey, let's talk about how it really feels. Okay. So as I'm playing with this, I mean, you know, I can feel the ball here. Now on this, you can see when I go on the edge, it almost sounds like a little dead. Okay. Now on the Premier, so when I go on the edge, yes, it loses some, but not as much. I mean, it seems to have almost twice the power on the edge. And it doesn't sound as dead. So, you know, something about maybe the sweet spot, you know, not so much it's wider, but if you hit off it, the ball's still going to go forward. So, kind of cool here. And I've hit with this paddle, and what I notice is, I mean, I can get a lot of velocity. I can really get a lot of pop. And also I could spin, and I could spin and hit hard and watch the spins go out there. So I'm happy with this on my serves. I like my ground strokes with it. I can do some blobs, and because I can get a lot of topspin, it lands in. Now as for texture, very different. I think very slightly different. The Evoke Pro seems to have more texture, while the Evoke Premier seems to be just slightly smoother. However, when I work my spins, I mean, I get a lot of spin. In fact, more spin off this. So even though that doesn't have the texture, you know, just this seems to have a softer feel and seems to grab it. And what I also like too is, even though you see the emblem here, you don't feel the emblem. I mean, it's not there. It's that coating they talk about. It works pretty well. So, you know, from my opinion, I mean, this is a very fast paddle. And I'm thinking Cassandra out there, Zane out there, you know, both of them are currently using the Evoke Pro. When they start using this paddle, be scared, be worried. Team ONIX. I mean, you know, a lot of them, if they switch to this paddle, it's up to them. I've seen Altaf Merchant play with this, and you know, that left-hander, he is scary. He is the Mumbai monster. And this paddle retails for $160. Sure, it's more expensive than $110 here, but it's amazing. I mean, when I hit with it, when I tried some spins, some returns, it did stuff that I was like, wow, I've never done that before. So, good paddle, and I like it. It is definitely Pickleball Librarian approved.